Men who committed sexual offences against teenage girls in Rochdale have been jailed for a total of more than 120 years. Tonight, one of their victims has told ITV News that others in such situations must find the courage to speak out. From the court in Manchester, here's Damon Green.
Their crimes were terrible and went unpunished for years. Their victims were young and vulnerable, and what they made them suffer was enough to ruin lives. Hannah watched in court today as the man who attacked her went to jail for 23 years. As a victim of sexual assault, she's entitled to lifelong anonymity, but wanted to speak out about her pride in giving evidence and sending that man to prison after years of living in fear and in shame.
Finally, obviously, come out the other end, and that's why I've done what I've done and gone on the stand and got justice for myself, and not only for myself but for all the other girls as well.
I mean, how proud do you feel of yourself for doing that?
I'm very proud of myself, really proud of myself. I've never ever been proud of myself in my life, ever.
The crimes took place in Rochdale and Greater Manchester, 42 separate offences over a period of 8 years against 8 different girls as young as 13. One young woman from the town who gave evidence told me how she was groomed as a teenager but never realised she was being abused.
I was 15 when I met him and he was like 28.
And to you it seemed you were just having a relationship?
Yeah, he was always there for me whenever I needed him. Until you get a bit wise and you realise it's just use and abuse.
Of the 9 men sentenced, 8 were of Pakistani and Bangladeshi heritage. Afrez Ahmed was a drug dealer known as the Warden because he had worked as a neighbourhood warden. Chaudhry Hussain was sentenced in his absence. He was given leave to attend a family funeral and fled, possibly to Pakistan. Muslim organisations say British Asians accept in Rochdale and elsewhere grooming is a problem.
When it comes to the issue of on-street gang grooming, there's an overrepresentation of Pakistani men. That's not prejudice, that's not racism, that's reality. That's what the figures tell us. And so yes, as a British Pakistani community, should we be doing more? Yeah, absolutely.
Hannah now has 2 beautiful children and a partner who cares for her. Her problems, she says, are behind her, but she has advice for any young girl who suspects she's being abused.
If they're providing you with alcohol and drugs and taking you to places that you've never been before and stuff like that, then more than likely they're just using you for sex. And just take yourself out of the situation, speak to your parents, speak to the police, because they'll support you every step of the way. I got justice, so they'll get justice.
121 years and 6 months behind bars for the men who carried out those crimes. The police operation which brought them to justice still continues. Damon Green, ITV News at Manchester Crown Court.